Hey, welcome to Fandom. I am Tim. That is Nick. We're here for a number one contenders match. Nick, got a couple things I want to say. Rocky 5, Attack of the Clones, Desolation of Smog, whichever the fifth Purge movie was. These are all bad films. However, I believe this fifth entry in a long-running series is going to be fucking awesome. We got Brittani and Joe playing again. Nick, thoughts?
I think this is maybe my favorite rivalry in Fandom. I think me and Scully, you and Scully are all up there, but I think this is maybe my favorite one. And it's interesting. One could almost ask, how could you top their past performance? Like, Joe wins the first two while they both score equal accuracy, wins them on the last question. Brittani comes in, wins last one standing, takes the belt from Joe in the most lopsided match of the four of them. And I say that because they made it to like the second to last question instead of the last question. And then Brittani defends in sudden death. So they're 2-2. And then Brittani loses the title to Abel. And now it's interesting. Like the Avengers, they saved the world. They saved the universe. They should have just gone back to saving the city. Instead, they tried to save the multiverse. So perhaps their first 3-round contender match for a shot at the title is the best fifth entry we could get. I'm very excited, Tim.
I had no idea what you were saying until you brought in the Avengers. You said the Avengers, and I was like, yes, I'm there, because you relate anything to the Avengers, I'm there for it. This is going to be great. Very much looking forward to this. Both players pissed. I think we didn't say that. I mean, like, yeah, it's the fifth time they've played, but separately taking away them facing each other, Brittani has been, like, on a mad scramble to get here. Joe, very outwardly said in a couple post-match interviews that this year has sucked, and now he's started to get back up into this contention. Both of these we like to say a lot, like, this person's got nothing to lose today. I think both of these people have a little bit to lose today, so this is going to be interesting to see what happens as we get into it, starting with the promos.
So before you say anything, Joe, because I know you want to, this is also my favorite rivalry in Fandom. I think Brittani is an incredible player. It has been great to see what she has been doing in Fandom since she started. I have been watching very closely at first and then on the other end of like the rivalry. But I don't think this match is going to determine who is better than the other person. Like, for me, in my mind, you and her are interchangeable. You both are the best Fandom active players right now, and it's just going to be a treat to watch the match.
Yeah, I hate to disappoint our gracious hosts, but I actually don't care that it's Joe v Brittani 5. You know, if it hadn't been for the word source, it'd be Joe v David 2. But I wouldn't care if it was Joe v David 2. I wouldn't care if I was playing Ryan or Harvey or Robert or anyone else from that side of the bracket. What matters to me is this is a number one contenders match, and this is a number one contenders match in which the winner has a shot at becoming a 2-time champion. So I'm not going to do what I usually do and wish the player luck before the first question. I'm going to say it now. Good luck, Brittani. I'm not going to end this promo the way a Rogue Nation member normally ends a promo. Because when I played Cameron in the first match of this bracket, that's when the fuse was lit. Gone through him, it's gone through Rue, go through Brittani, and it'll land at those explosives at Tyler's feet, and it's about to go off. Let's do this.
This is my least favorite rivalry in Fandom. I disagree with them hardly. My favorite one of all time was still Scully versus Nick, because that always came out on my favor. So I really enjoyed that one. But listen, every year that I've been in Fandom, I've always had one slip up every year. Knights of Ren lost to Dummies. The trios match in the very first season where Arkham Knights was a clear favorite, lost. But the same thing happens every year. I end up with the belt with one of my players. With that being said, I feel like I cost Brittani the title against Abel. I don't care that this is Joe v Brittani 5 either. because since I've joined, this only came up one way in Brittani winning, and I'm hoping to continue that streak tonight. Joe's a fantastic player, great player, but that bomb is going to go off in his face tonight. Let's play.
Nick, couple of interesting things I want to point out. David Garcia, secret Mortal Kombat fan, thoughts?
I care a lot less about that than many other things going on, but okay.
Okay, great. Let's get into it with round number 1. Nick, how's it going to work?
Yeah, round number 1 is going to work like this. There's going to be 10 questions in the realm of fandom fights. Each player is going to have 15 seconds to write down their answer. At the end of 15 seconds, they'll say pens down, which point the players will reveal their answer and say it aloud. Each correct answer is worth 1 point apiece. And should any individual player get all 10 questions correct in round number 1, they would receive a bonus question. Each player will have 3 repeats, 1 challenge for the entirety of the match. If there's any questions to begin in round number 1.
That was gross.
No.
Get it? Because
yeah, I get it.
your first question comes in the category of the MCU. Who plays Namor in Black Panther: Wakanda Forever?
I believe it is pronounced Namor.
Shut up.
Nick, I haven't seen you in a while. We're getting to the end of the season, so we're not shooting as many matches, and so I haven't seen you. The last time I saw you was before Maggie said, "Why don't you just quit doing fandom?" And I said, "Can't do that, Maggie. Turtles are coming." 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pens down. Let's go to Brittani.
Tino Huerta? I'm sorry.
I
mean, I spelled it the same. So Tino Huerta.
Yes, both.
It's one of those.
You said it better.
The same one.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Your next question is in the category of the Planet of the Apes. In Dawn of the Planet of the Apes, when Malcolm first returns to the ape camp to surrender and asks Caesar to work on the dam, what is the first kind of ape to confront him?
That's not how you spell damn.
No, it is not, but that's okay. It worked. Fun fact, actually, Tinoch Huerta, star of the 5th Purge movie.
Actually?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Random.
So, 5. 2, 1, pens down. Let's go to Joe.
A gorilla.
And Brittani.
I also said gorilla.
Gorilla is correct. 2-2. What's next, Nick?
Next question comes in the category of Star Trek. In Star Trek: The Motion Picture, what is the name of the artificial intelligence searching for its creator?
Your thoughts on artificial intelligence?
Don't get me started. It's cool. I didn't want to live another 20 years. Why not just end it early? Let's dabble.
It's fair. There's a pretty cool song by One Republic called AI 5.
Yeah, did they write it, or did someone just
1, pens down. Let's go to Brittani.
Beeger.
And Joe.
Beeger.
Both are correct. 3-3. Your next question is coming in the category of the Wizarding World. Which Wizarding World film features the code phrase "Lightning has struck"? You ever been hit by lightning?
I was going to ask you that. No, but a tree in my backyard has.
Scary.
Yeah, it was a big tree, and now it's in half, and it's got scorch marks.
Now it's 2 trees.
No.
Oh,
just a
I was to split you in half, you would not be 2 people.
3, 2, 1, pens down. Yeah, but if I split a tomato in half, is it still 1 tomato or is it 2 tomatoes?
2 halves of a tomato. Anyway.
Let's go to Joe.
2 halves of a tomato. Deathly Hallows Part 2.
And Brittani.
Deathly Hallows Part 2.
Both are correct. 4-4. What's next?
Next question comes in the category of horror icons. What is the first name of Michael's mother's abusive boyfriend who he kills as a child in Halloween 2007?
I just aspirated there a little bit.
You aspirated?
Yeah.
How do you do that?
Hey, remember a couple months ago when it was your birthday? What'd you do?
Started playing
5,
video games
4,
again, which is
3,
bad. I gotta
2,
stop that shit. I
1.
waste so much time.
Hands down to hell. Yeah, Smash Bros. Let's
Yeah.
go to Brittany
Ronnie?
and Joe.
Todd.
Ronnie is correct. So Brittany will take the first lead of the match. It is 5-4. Your next question is in the category of scores and soundtracks. Who composed the score for Patriot games? Smash Bros is great though. You're good at it though. It's not like
Yeah. I'm pissed though, because I wanted to play Smash Bros. Brawl, and I have a Wii, and the disc wasn't working. I was like, damn it. So I ordered another one. I was like, the disc's probably old, it's all scratched up.
order another Wii or the other another disc.
Another disc. I put the disc in, same problem, and I Googled it, and it was like, that game doesn't work on old Wii's.
Hands down. What?
Pissed.
Let's go to Joe
James Horner.
and Brittany.
James Horner.
That is correct. All right, it is 6-5. What is next, Nick?
Your next question comes in the category of Middle Earth. At the start of the Battle of Helm's Deep in the Two Towers, how many orcs has Legolas killed after Gimli says he has killed 2?
This is a great question. Thank you for bringing this into my life. No, you know what? Honestly, like you should get a Wii, or I'm not a Wii. I'm sorry, a Switch, and then me and Cody play Smash Bros online. That'd be fun.
I'm just not trying to
Start
spend
a little multiplex league. You can get a Switch for pretty cheap. 5,
what's pretty cheap to you.
$200.
It's too much.
1. Pens down. Yeah, that's fair. Mr. No Student Loans. Let's go to Joe
I'm on 17.
and Brittany.
17.
17 is correct. 7-6. Your next question is in the category of Disney animation. Name 2 of Duchess's 3 kittens in the Aristocats. Although I guess by paying off your student loans,
I have no money now.
money, so that's fair.
That's where all my money went.
That's fair. I remember when I had student loans. Oh wait, I didn't go to college.
Shut up. You said that as though it was a thing of like, oh, Mr. Money. And it's like, no, that's where my money's gone.
Yeah, I know. 5, 4. And I did it at the end, so you couldn't say anything. 1 pens down. Let's go to we should have gone to Brittany last time. We're going to Joe this time again.
Marie and Berlioz.
And let's go to Brittany.
I said the exact same too.
you
Marie
just
and
have Toulouse.
Berlioz. Yeah, I
You just
almost put Toulouse, but
No one wanted Toulouse. 8-7, Nick.
Yeah.
All right, what's next?
Your penultimate question comes in the category of James Bond. Which Bond film features Bond being offered a prolytic digestive enzyme shake?
Gross.
Remember in Friends when Phoebe was like, my aunt's name was Nestle?
Nestle Toulouse. I was literally thinking the same thing. Nestle Toulouse.
I hated Phoebe.
Nestle Toulouse.
I liked Phoebe, but I hated
4,
She
3,
was frustrating.
1. Pens down. I love them all. Let's go to Brittany
Spectre.
and Joe.
Spectre.
Spectre is correct. So it is 9-8. If Brittany hits this final question, it will be a perfect round. Your question is in the category of Pixar. And your question is, what is the name of Ember's father's shop that she supposedly will one day inherit in Elemental? Good film.
Yeah.
Good film. Watched it in the theater, enjoyed it. Watched it at home with the macaw and the macaw's baby, and we had a good time. We had a good time.
Macaw's baby.
I was trying to think of what a baby bird name would be, but I couldn't come up with it in the short amount of time I had. 5.
Okay. I still feel like you could have said my daughter.
1. Pens down. Nah, you got to keep the mystery alive. Let's go to Joe
The Fireplace.
and Brittany.
The Fireplace.
That is correct for the perfect round. It is 10-9.
Ronnie.
Brittany, you are going to get a bonus question to you, only to you. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Your question. Who is the only person to direct both an MCU film and a sci-fi icons film?
Alan Taylor.
That is correct for 1 point and the bonus perfect round. So 11-9 is what I have, Nick. Is that what you have?
I have that as well.
All right, round number 2. How's it going to work, Nick?
Round number 2 is going to work like this. It is the wheel round. We have a wheel with 8 fandom categories on it, as well as spinners and opponent's choice. Each player will get a spin at the wheel. If they like what they spin the first time, they can keep it. If not, they can choose to spin again, but they will be forced to keep what they spin the second time. You'll get 5 questions in the chosen category, each worth 2 points apiece, unless you like check down the multiple choice, in which case it'll only be worth 1. And be on the lookout as stealing is available in round number 2. Tim, what's on the wheel today?
On the wheel today, we have American Spies, Law and Order, DreamWorks Animation, YA, James Bond, Scores and Soundtracks, Wizarding World, and Pixar. So, Brittani, you are in the lead. Would you like to spin or defer to Joe and give him everything he desires?
We will go second.
Okay, you are going to be giving Joe everything he desires. Let's bring in David. And Joe, this is going to be your spin. And try Prime. Free for 30 days. It lands on DreamWorks Animation, Joe.
I've been doing really well at this. But I think there's better on there.
Yeah, and like there isn't a lot of things you are like afraid of on the wheel, right?
No, there's like that's a good category, and then there's great categories, and
Yeah,
it goes in there. That's good. So let's go for something great. Spin again, please.
All right, spinning again. And you're landing on James Bond.
That's what I'm talking about.
everything he desires.
Everything he desires. Absolutely.
Everything.
Nick, would you please go ahead and read Joe his questions in the category of Jimmy B?
Absolutely, Joe. You're prepared for your questions in the category of James Bond.
Sure.
Your first question. Which James Bond film features twins named Mishka and Grishka?
Octopussy.
That's correct for 2 points. Your second question. Who plays Henry Gupta in Tomorrow Never Dies?
Ricky J.
That is correct for 2 points. Your third question. In Casino Royale, how much money does Felix Leiter give to Bond in order to buy back into the game once he loses?
5 million.
That is correct for 2 points. Your penultimate question. In The Spy Who Loved Me, Stromberg plans to simultaneously destroy New York City and what other city?
Moscow.
That is correct for 2 points. And Joe, your final question. In The World Is Not Enough, what type of transportation is the assassin who killed Robert King in when she kills herself?
Hot air balloon.
That is correct for 2 points and a clean sweep of James Bond.
All right, so Joe gets his total up to 19. Brittany's still at 11. We're going to bring back the wheel and Mr. Newberry. This is going to be the spin for Miss Tapley. And it lands on opponent's choice. So we will remove Mr. Newberry and add Mr. Garcia. Gentlemen, what would you like to give Brittany?
Is it
The
weird?
worst player to give opponent's choice to.
Is it weird that I forgot this was on the wheel? But can we get the categories again, please?
Yes, the categories that you have to choose from, if my mouse will work, are American Spies, Law and Order, DreamWorks Animation, YA, Scores and Soundtracks, Wizarding World, and Pixar.
So I think, given Brittany's abilities, what we've seen before, I think the best way to get multiples at least in there, knock it down a bit, is probably Scores and Soundtracks.
Yeah, every movie in Fandom. I mean, she probably knows them all anyway, but yeah.
Of course, but I think that's the best. I think that's the best option. Like I said, this wheel isn't full of horrible things. So Scores and Soundtracks, please.
All right, Brittany, I'll be giving you your questions in the category of Scores and Soundtracks. Are you ready?
Yep.
Which horror icons film features the song Tom Dooley?
I'd take multiple for that.
All right, your options are A, Halloween H2O, B, Friday the 13th, C, A Nightmare on Elm Street 3, Dream Warriors, or D, Halloween Kills.
B?
B is correct for 1 point. All right, your next question, Brittany. Who composed the score for Tarzan and Moana?
Mark Mancina.
That is correct for 2 points. Your third question. How many people composed the score for both a YA film and a film in the Terminator franchise? Five, four, three.
Take our full repeat, please.
Full repeat. Your question again. How many people composed the score for both a YA film and a film in the Terminator franchise?
One.
That is correct for 2 points. Nick, I think my tallies are off. That puts her at 16, yes?
Yep.
Okay, I was off. I don't know why I only gave her one on the last one. But yes, 16. Okay. Your next question, Brittany. Who sings the song Heathens for the film Suicide Squad?
Yeah, I'll have to go to multiple.
All right, your options are A, Imagine Dragons, B, 21 Pilots, C, The Killers, or D, The Lumineers.
B.
B is
I
correct.
had 21 and nothing else.
I have heard that song an obscene number of times when I worked at the cinema. Cody knows what I'm talking about. Okay, and your final question, Brittany, in the category of scores and soundtracks, who composed the score for Blade?
Mark Isham.
That is correct for 2 points. And Nick, a tie game. A tie
Yeah, right,
game
Tim.
going into round number 3, the betting round. So that bonus point early on in round number 1 definitely helped Brittany out there, keeping it close on opponent's choice. But it is 19 all as we get into round number 3. How's it going to work, Nick?
Round number 3 is going to work. Not to jinx anything, but should I start getting sudden death questions ready? Round number 3 is going to work like this. There's going to be 5 more questions in the realm of Fandom fights. Once the players see the category, they can bet anywhere between 0 and 2 points on the question. If they get the question correct, they'll gain those points. If they get the question incorrect, they will lose those points. We will play until someone is mathematically eliminated or we've reached the end of the match. Players, any questions as we get in round number 3?
Nope.
No.
All right, go Tim.
All right, the first question, first category is in the first question is from the category of sci-fi icons. Let's get bets, starting with Joe.
2.
I'm shocked. And Brittany.
2.
Yeah.
Still shook. Okay, your question. In the category of sci-fi icons. In Alien versus Predator, when first arriving to the abandoned whaling station that sits atop the underground pyramid, what specific kind of animal does the team find in an empty house? Modern classic Alien? I believe is what the question should have said.
No.
This movie fucking rules, dude.
No.
I love this movie so much. It's so good. I'm going to rewatch it. I've decided. I'm going to watch it for Halloween season. I mean, I did watch it for Halloween season. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pens down. Let's go to Joe.
Penguin.
And Brittany.
A penguin.
Penguin is correct. So both hit it. We are still tied. 21-21. Nick, what's the next category?
Next category you can get points on is Planet of the Apes.
Let's get bets, starting with Brittany
2.
and Joe.
2.
All right, Nick, what's the question?
Your question. In Rise of the Planet of the Apes, during their assault on the city, Maurice and Buck each throw an item at a police car to disable it. Name one of the 2 specific items that they throw.
You ever watch the show 3, 2, 1 Penguins?
What?
Where the penguins are like space people.
What are you talking?
You don't know what I'm talking about? I'll show you after this. It's great. It's a modern classic. 5, 4.
I just thought of another take I could have done for that answer.
1. Heads down. Let's go to Brittany
It's a manhole cover.
and Joe.
I was going to put that, but parking meter.
Both are correct. Those are the 2 answers. So
Smile and wave, boys. That's what I could have said as well, but I didn't.
Yeah, that's good.
23 to 23. The next category is the worlds of DC. Let's get bets, starting with Joe
2.
and Brittany.
2.
All right, your question in the category of worlds of DC. Which worlds of DC film features performances from Matthew Willig, Stephen Williams, and Dana Lee? Sorry, I almost timmed that one.
Wouldn't be the first time you timmed something.
All the time. Constantly timming things.
May also be Dana Lee.
Could be.
Yeah.
Could be. 5, 4, 3, 2.
Repeat the question, please.
All right, that was going to be Joe's first repeat. Your question again. Which worlds of DC film features performances from Matthew Willig, Stephen Williams, and Dana Lee? Dana Lee. Dana.
You just didn't want to listen to me?
No, I say it the one way, and then I that's how it is in my brain forever. Five, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pens down. We are going to start with Joe.
No, this one I said Justice League.
And we're going to go to Brittany.
Birds of Prey.
Birds of Prey is the correct answer. So Brittany goes up to 25. Joe goes down to 21. It is now a 4-point game. 2 questions remaining. Nick, what's that next category?
An ultimate category we have points on is James Bond.
All right, let's get bets starting with Brittany
1.
and Joe.
2.
All right, here's the sitch. If both hit or both miss, the game goes to Brittany, and she will go to play for the title. But if Joe hits and Brittany misses, we move on to the final question of the match. So, Nick, what is the question in the category of Jimmy B, James Bond?
Your question is, which Roger Moore Bond girl is discreetly killed at a boxing match? We just need the last name. But we'll take both.
I won't.
I will.
I'll either take just their last name or first, middle, and last, and the name of their uncle.
And I won't. And then we'll get a third judge.
Fair. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pens down. We are going to go to Joe first.
Miss Anders.
And Brittany.
Anders.
And your winner, Brittany Tapley, moving on to the singles title match. Nick, hell of a match.
Hey, Tim, want to hear a funny story?
Yes.
That's another fucking perfect game for Brittany Tapley.
Oh, shit. You're totally right. You are 100% correct. She did not miss a question that whole time.
Holy shit.
Yeah. Whoa. I was so enthralled in the match and what was going on.
As was I.
That I wasn't even thinking about that as we were going. So holy shit, yeah, that is nuts. Nick, thoughts before we get into post match?
Nope, no thoughts.
All right, we're gonna bring in David and Joe.
Joe, fantastic stuff. I feel like I'm gonna talk to you the way I talked to Robert Kastner 2 matches ago. In that, what else are you supposed to do, man? Like, she literally didn't miss a damn thing, and all it takes is that one question, which. On any other given day, I think David's right. I think you two are very interchangeable in a way where, like, on any other given day, that could have been a question that Brittany didn't know and you did, and then the match goes to you. Incredibly smart pick. This is the first time you guys have had spinners and opponent's choice in a match, and clearly you did the right thing because I don't think you were giving Brittany anything that she would have missed the question on. But to give her something that she has to check down is just great strategy and shows why you're an absolute veteran of the game. Joe, I know it wasn't the outcome you wanted, But you still play. You only missed 2 questions. Brittani just played a perfect game. So, how are you feeling about the match? I know it wasn't the best season overall, but all three of your losses were to Brittani Tapley on Brittani Tapley's best day, and you played other top-tier contenders like Rue and Holtzman and showed that you won those, I think, at least with ease. You're clearly one of the best around. It just so happened that while last year was your year, this year, at least for most of it, feels like Brittany's year. How are you feeling about the match, Joe? I've been talking a lot.
The match itself disappointed because, again, there's that one question. I knew Alan Taylor for the bonus questions, so there's that. Rob Zombie's Halloween movies won't hold too much of a grudge against missing that. Wheel worked out perfectly, and I think had Brittani chosen to spin first, I believe she put DreamWorks on there, so that she probably would have taken that, so I may have ended up with Bond anyway. It's always nice to get Bond. Hesitated a little bit because I was like, I know it's similar to Ricky J, but is it Ricky J? But hell, I need to shoot for a 2 here because I need to. And yeah, it was the opponent's choice was the best thing that could have happened, and there's nothing on that wheel that anyone in their right mind would give Brittani by choice except maybe scores and soundtracks. Because and it is what it is. The deep cut cast members. There was a match I watched recently where there was a deep cut question about cast member, not a deep cut, but a question about a relatively deep cast member from Alien Covenant. So I sort of went, right, let's get some practice on these, especially from sci-fi icons and stuff like that. Neglected the worlds of DC because I was focusing on rewatching Black Adam and The Flash, the stuff that's a little bit newer. That's just where it comes down to. If I take a quick glance at IMDb, maybe it's a different result. But as I said in another recent match, I've won the Fandom singles title. I've won the Fandom teams title. I've defended the Fandom singles title, but you know what I haven't won? Last one standing.
Ooh, that's true.
Yeah.
And if I want a legacy, and maybe there's something I should win. And of course, best of luck to Brittani, of course, because she's probably going to be the champion at the end of the year. That's no offense to Tyler, but she didn't miss a question.
Yeah. I mean, as I said, Brittani has been playing on a tear this year. As you said, it is her year. It is, and it's just nothing you can do about that. I mean, Joe is playing like he always plays. Missing 2 questions is disgusting. Anyway, so, what are you going to do? Joe is still one of the 2 best players in Fandom. As I said, I don't think this means Brittani is better than Joe or Joe is better than Brittani. It's just the result of this particular match. And one particular question that Joe just happened to not know, just like Brittani missed that Middle-earth question against me in our last match. It happens even to the people that don't miss questions. So, so I will try and not let Joe win the last man standing, I guess.
I think Brittani, David, Albert, Scully all learned last year that sometimes when it's that player's year, there's nothing you can do. And, maybe that's just what happened here.
For sure. Joe, the notion of you in last one standing very much excites me, of you being back in it again. And yes, if you don't hold the singles title at the end of the year, I can guarantee that you personally will be invited to participate in that. So
right. I just need to put out this fuse here. Sorry.
No, you're good. Sorry. Joe, you played great. You had in the matches that you've played, even the ones you lost, you've knocked it out. You killed it. You've had a great year. As of this point, I don't think in the schedule, at least obviously in real life, but in the schedule, I think your team's run is still alive. We could still see you and David at the end of the team's tournament. So that would be exciting. definitely
Fortune and glory, kid.
Fortune
and glory.
But Joe, great match. We will see you again very soon. As I said, you are indeed one of the best there is. As we bring in possibly the best there is. Brittani, you're making perfect games not really all that special anymore, and it's kind of pissing me off.
Oh, sorry.
I didn't realize you had a perfect game. I'm sure you didn't realize you had a perfect game until I said it. Crazy shit. It happened 2 games ago. A couple things happened with this match. or not even with this match. I think it happened with last match. With last match, you became the most accurate player of all time. You surpassed me. Your accuracy went higher than mine. You also, with I think the last perfect game, not even this one, but I forgot to mention all this stuff at that, and it definitely still holds true. You surpassed Thomas Scully in the most amount of perfect rounds, which you have done even further now. So you now hold that record. And as Joe said, the winner of this match has the chance to become the first ever 2-time champion. I will give Tyler more credit than I think Joe did. Not that Joe dissed Tyler, but again, you did just play 2 perfect games back to back. I think Tyler absolutely has the capacity to win that match. I don't think anyone thought he would beat Abel, and then he beat Abel. So anything could happen, but I think it'll be a lot friendlier than perhaps yours and his individual past 2 title matches. How are you feeling about the match, the title? Speak or forever hold your peace.
I mean, yeah, I feel great. I knew, well, actually, it's funny. Before this, Cody said, "Can you just play perfect?" I'm like, "Sure, I can do that." And I did, because we knew I had to do this to beat Joe. Like, had I not gone perfect, I mean, I missed 2 questions against David last match and almost lost. So I knew with Joe, I had to go perfect. And I'm very glad I did. And yeah, scores and soundtracks. I am very glad it's going away next year. Very happy how I played it through. Like I said, I had 21. I just couldn't get the pilots part because I haven't heard that song a bunch. But I'm really happy how I maneuvered through it and how I played through round 3 and used my repeats when I actually needed to. Well, that was cool. So no, I'm really happy, and yeah, it should be. I'm excited for what's to come for obvious reasons.
Cody, your year's done in singles. Congratulations.
Yeah. Again, I don't know what I have, but I have a knack of picking great fandom players and letting them just run. I said this previous season when Joe and her played, and I was like, Brittani Tapley will win a belt at some point. She was a player I wanted to manage. She was in different factions, and then I said, I'm coming back because I miss Fandom. I miss managing Fandom, and I messaged Brittani hoping that she would say yes. She said yeah, and it's been smooth sailing ever since. The thing is, it's just, I told her, we hopped on call before the match, and I said, hey, you know when you know how to not be stressed out during this match if you just play perfect game. She's like, that's my plans. And I was like, good. That's the plan we need. My thing is, this is nothing against Joe. This is nothing against David. They're great. Like, if you had asked me 2 seasons ago, like, they both drove me nuts because they were good, but, like, we always see them. But they're great players. Great. Hands off to both of them. Brittani is just, again, she's truly amazing. She amazes me every time. Even when she, sits there and, there was a question today in round 1, she's like, I don't know, and turned it around, it's the right answer. So, her ability, and I've said this from day one, Tyler gets a lot of doubt said. We've talked privately, if he becomes a scumbag against Brittani and just goes for a throat and picks terrible categories and says we'll play at 3 a.m. Hey, whatever, Tyler, it's your belt. You do what you want. Put opponent's choice, put spinner's choice. Do what you want, Tyler. But I think it will be a very classy match between both of them. They both help each other tremendously in teams matches. And Tyler did say at the end of the last season that he wants to be Fandom Team of the Year. And both these players are now ending the season playing each other and going to be defending their belt at the end of the season. So at that point, Tyler, no drama. You picked it up. You knew exactly the road and did it and everything. And Fandom is this game that constantly changes. It's constantly not the same year in and year out. Next season, it will change. It matters how you adapt to that change and how you move forward. Brittani came up short twice. We came in with a strategy this season of changing what it is, separating from Joe and David, but making her trust herself and go by herself and see what happens. And this is the result. So I couldn't be happier for them. I get to sit back and just watch 2 titans of this game play each other, and whoever wins, I'm happy. The other one will be disappointed, but they'll be back next season to do it again. So overall, great job overall. Joe, fantastic match. You did a great job.
Yeah, couldn't agree more. And just to set the stage, because Tyler said something cool in one of his last matches, but this is Tyler's revenge year. He and it's turning out. He said that when he first did it, and I was like, no, that's dumb, but it's actually happening. So he lost to Abel. He got revenge against Abel. Duel of Fates lost to Young Justice. He got revenge against Young Justice. There was a third one in there. I can't quite remember off the top of my head, but
Jack.
Jack. Oh, he lost to Jack. He knocked out Jack. Yeah. The only two.
Jack fucking sucks.
The only two knots or threads left untied. I don't know what the phrase is Woogie Mistake and you. So he's getting at least one of those. And I would imagine that would fuel him a little bit more. So I'm very excited for this title match, especially coming off a perfect game. Congratulations, Brittany. We'll see you at the final act. And Tim,
good shit, man. Like, yeah. God, you know, I fucking love fandom fights. This was a ball. This was great. And I think that, you know, Cody said something in the post-match there that I agree with. I wholeheartedly have said it many times, is that, and I said it in the Q&A that we did, is like, the game changes all the time. How you adapt to the game is really important. I think Joe and Brittany are two of those people that have always encouraged change and also embraced the change and then become successful with it. So I'm really like Joe coming into last one standing next year with new categories, and now he has this time off, which granted, like, he's probably still in teams, but he has this time off. That's spooky, man. Like, we've never seen him in last one standing. That's scary. But Brittany going up against Tyler is like, that's fucking awesome. Like, you love to see those types of matches, and I'm really looking forward to it. So I can't wait to see that at the final act. A lot of good matches we're getting at the final act this year. I already know of like a couple of them, and this is good. I'm excited. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you to Joe. Thank you to Brittany, Cody, and David. Thank you to Nick for writing this match. Thank you to the Macaw for letting me do this at 6 p.m. when the baby is awake. I have been Tim. We'll see you guys next time with another great match. Until then, bye.
And again, that's the hero gig. Part of the journey is the end.
Goodbye, old friend.
Kitty has to go.